Let's talk about something most of us have in our living rooms, the television. But, we're not going to get into screen sizes or the latest streaming apps. Nope, we're going to dive into how this everyday object can actually become a stage for some pretty intense relationship dynamics. It's fascinating what can hide in plain sight.
We've all seen it, right? The fight over the remote control. It's practically a sitcom staple. But what if it's not just about wanting to watch sports instead of a movie? What if that little plastic rectangle is actually about something much, much bigger? Well, the material we're digging into today suggests it is.
All right, so let's start with the most obvious weapon in the living room, the remote itself. For most of us, watching TV is a way to relax, to share something. But the source we're looking at points out that for some people, it's not about relaxing at all. It's about establishing who's in charge. And think about what this actually looks like. It goes way beyond just flicking through channels. It's about the remote never leaving their hand, like it's a scepter of power. It's about them talking, loudly, right over the most important parts of the show, making sure their voice is what you hear. It's like their commentary is designed to compete with the TV's audio, making it impossible for you to get lost in the story. And the bottom line here? Your ability to enjoy the show, it just doesn't matter.
Okay, so this whole pattern gets deeper. It's not just about how they watch TV, but what they choose to watch. The television screen can act like a kind of mirror, reflecting the person they desperately want everyone to think they are.
Let's break this down. According to the source, if someone is only watching news bulletins, it might not just be about staying informed. It's about putting on a performance, the serious political analyst. Or what about those incredibly long soap operas with hundreds and hundreds of episodes? That could point to a real need for a steady, predictable story to plug into every single day. And that fascination with violent shows, constant chase scenes, or even documentaries about predator animals, well, that often signals a deep attraction to power, to dominance, to the idea of being the hunter, not the hunted.
And then you get these moments that are just bizarrely contradictory. The source gives this incredible example. Picture it. Someone is watching a really sad, emotional poem on TV, something that's supposed to make you tear up, and they're just casually eating their dinner, no reaction. That emotional disconnect is so jarring, right? It can make you question everything, leaving you totally confused about what's real and what's just an act.
So, we've talked about the remote and the shows. Now let's talk about the sound. Because the volume knob can absolutely be used as a tool, a way to totally dominate the entire soundscape of a house and just throw everyone else's life into chaos.
And this isn't just someone being forgetful. It's about making a statement. Leaving the TV blaring for hours when they're not even in the room, that's claiming the space. Falling asleep with the volume cranked way up, that ensures that their presence is still felt even when they're out cold. And blasting the TV late at night when everyone else is trying to sleep, well, that's a pretty clear message that their desires are the only ones that count.
The source material just sums it all up with this one powerful line. This kind of behavior respects no one, young or old. And that really hits home, doesn't it? It just cuts right through all the excuses and points to a total disregard for anyone else's peace or comfort.
So, when you put it all together, the control of the remote, the choice of shows, the weaponized volume, what do you have? It's so easy to write these things off as just annoying little quirks, right? Oh, that's just how they are. But the real key here is to see that these aren't random at all. They're all connected. And that's the big takeaway. The person who hogs the remote is very often the same person who talks over the show, who picks programs that feed an image of power, and who uses the volume to disrupt the whole house. See? They're not separate things. According to the source, they are all pieces of a single consistent pattern, a pattern of dominance, control, and an intense focus on themselves.
And that really leaves us with one last question to think about. It's often not the big, dramatic moments that tell the true story of our relationships. It's the little things, the small, everyday habits, like how we share the space around a TV set. So it makes you wonder, what patterns might be hiding in plain sight in your own life?